Snake, when you knock down a hornet's nest, a large swarm of hornets will come flying out. If used wisely, this can sow panic among the enemy, but if you're not careful, the hornets may end up attacking you.
If you're attacked by hornets, wiggle the left stick around and wave your survival knife to shoo them away. Smoke is another useful tool in keeping hornets away. If you're attacked by hornets, I'd advise you to try using a smoke grenade. And if you use the insecticidal bug juice, the hornet should stay away as long as the effect lasts. Hornets are prone to becoming agitated and aggressive when they see the color black. Their attacks will be more vicious if you're wearing black clothes. If you're attacked by hornets, you should change into white clothes.
You can only use CQC to grab enemies when your right hand is free to grab and pull them toward you. In other words, when you're barehanded or equipped with a one-handed weapon like a survival knife or a handgun. You won't be able to grab hold of enemies when equipped with two-handed weapons, such as the assault rifle or weapons such as hand grenades that don't leave your right hand free to control the enemy.
So in other words, I can't throw enemies with CQC when I'm holding an assault rifle or a hand grenade.
Exactly. Don't forget it. I see you're using the Easy Gun. The Easy Gun is a silenced tranquilizer gun for special ops use, developed for Fox by the CIA's Technology Division.
A silenced tranquilizer gun? I don't see a suppressor on here.
Apparently, the tranquilizer rounds themselves are designed to suppress the sound.
Interesting. In other words, I won't have to worry about the suppressor wearing out on me, right?
That's right. It's also equipped with a laser sight, so that you can make accurate shots even at a distance. In addition, merely equipping the Easy Gun should have a positive effect on your camo index. I've even heard it helps you recover your stamina. Put it to good use.
Sokolov should be at the abandoned factory to the north.
I see you found a Yabloko Moloko.
Yablo, what now?
Yabloko Moloko. It's a Russian name that roughly translates as milk apple. It's a type of star apple. The juice is thick and sweet, like milk, hence the name. And if you cut one in half lengthwise, you'll see a star-shaped ring radiating out from the center.
Hence the star apple.
Right. The star-shaped part has a gelatinous texture and is said to be especially tasty.
Sounds useful.
You're welcome.
For once.
Did you say something?
No, back to the mission.
Looks like you found a golova.
Golova?
Yeah, it's a fruit that's found only in that region. It's related to the jackfruit, which is commonly found in Southeast Asia.
Jackfruit, huh?
Yep, he's a cannibal.
Huh?
I didn't say anything.
No, I'm sure you...
I said, I'm sure you'd like it.
Oh,
Golova means head in Russian. It's probably called that because the fruit grows to about the size of a human head. It's supposedly pretty good to eat with a uniquely sweet flavor. The fruit itself is fairly large, so you could make a meal out of it. Golovas grow directly off the trunk of the tree. If you're running low on stamina, it might be a good idea to keep an eye on the tree trunks.
Normally, you would ask a fellow soldier how well your camouflage is working. But this is a solo sneaking mission, so nobody out there is on your side. You have to determine how well your camouflage is working by yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, that's what the camo index is for. The camo index tells you how well you've imitated the surroundings. The higher the index, the more well disguised you are. With a high enough camo index, you can even fool enemies inches away. If you are in an area where encounters are a high concern, keep your camo index high. Got it? In my day, I did my share of sneaking into enemy territory.
You mean since World War II?
Yeah, mostly snatch missions.
Snatch mission. That's where you abduct an enemy officer without killing him, right?
Right. That's where I got the original idea for CQC. In a snatch mission, taking out the target's escorts by shooting them is not an option. If the enemy hears the gunshot, they'll know there's an intruder and tighten security. And the target will sense danger and try to get away.
You needed a way to take out the guards and secure the target without making a sound.
That was the idea. The CQC style that you and I developed is based on the techniques I cultivated during those missions. So...
First time I've heard this.
Huh?
You've never told me any of this before.
I didn't?
No. Why? Why didn't you tell me this before? Why now?
I have my reasons. This is a solo sneaking mission. There's no one out there to support you. You'll need to be more than just a soldier. You'll have to be a medic, a pilot, and even a cook.
You don't need to remind me.
I'm glad to hear that.
Glad to hear what?
That you haven't changed a bit. The truth is, you're nervous, aren't you?
I'm not nervous.
There's no need to be embarrassed. No one's ever attempted a mission like this before. In fact, you might say that getting nervous is the natural way to react. Relax. That's why you have the survival viewer. The survival viewer contains everything you'll need to stay alive in the field. Use camouflage to change your camouflage, backpack to select a weapon, food to eat, and cure to heal yourself. The map option lets you view the map, and the options function lets you change the settings to suit your individual style. The survival viewer is going to be your best friend in this mission, so learn to make the most of it. Choose battle fatigues that match the surrounding environment. The most effective camouflage is attained by selecting fatigues that blend in with the environment. Camouflage patterns that stand out in your surroundings will attract attention. It takes more than just clothes to make a good disguise. To camouflage yourself effectively, you'll need to wear face paint. Face paint is camouflage applied to the face. Bare skin sticks out like a sore thumb in the jungle, so always protect yourself with face paint. Choose a color that matches the features of your surroundings, and use your finger to apply the face paint. Start by applying a light color, then gradually move up in darkness. That way, even if you make a mistake, you can cover it up with a later, darker color. In order to flatten the appearance of your face, use light colors on areas of the face that recede, and dark colors on areas that protrude. Open the survival viewer, go to camouflage, then select face, and you'll find the selection of face paints. Be sure to select a face paint that makes you blend right into your surroundings, okay? Camouflage is about blending in with nature. To ensure effective camouflage, you have to stay low and keep still. As long as you have camouflage fatigues, face paint that matches the environment, and lay on your stomach, you don't need to be concerned with being spotted by distant enemies. On the other hand, no amount of camouflage will keep you hidden from the enemy if you're running around. So when you need to hide from the enemy, lie as low as possible and stay still. You can check the camo index to see how your movement and position affects the quality of your disguise.
Eat food to
To place a weapon on your person, go to the survival viewer, then backpack, then select weapon. A list of weapons will be shown in a window in the upper left. Select the weapon you wish to put on your person with the left stick and press the enter button to remove the weapon from your backpack and equip it to your person. However, you can only carry so many weapons at once on your person. Put unnecessary weapons back into your backpack. Select a weapon on your person from the weapon list and press the enter button to put that weapon into your backpack. Your situation determines what weapons are most useful. Consider this when choosing which weapons to put on your person. Okay, Snake? Hunters have known about camouflage since ancient times. But it's only quite recently, since the 18th century, that it's been applied to military operations. The first camouflage introduced to the military was a solid colored uniform designed to blend in with the battlefield. It was really more of a protective coloring than true camouflage. Camouflage in the modern sense of the word wasn't introduced until the First World War. During that war, weapons such as aircraft, cannon, and warships were painted in camouflage colors. But it was almost never used to disguise individual soldiers. The widespread use of camouflage began in World War II. The Germans and the Russians in particular made active use of it in battle. Nowadays, with the Cold War raging, the Eastern Bloc has been hard at work developing all sorts of camouflage patterns. In the West, the French implemented it in their paratrooper corps, and SAS during the Wars of Independence in Indochina.
I never saw it used in Korea, though.
America has lagged behind other countries in incorporating camouflage. They're only just beginning to consider introducing it into certain units.
Why is that?
Apparently, there are those in the U.S. military who consider camouflage too passive a technique.
Morons.
You're telling me. But now more and more people are beginning to appreciate how useful and important camouflage can be. I'm sure the brass will see the light soon enough. Ah, you've got a directional microphone. The directional microphone is a high-performance listening device. When you equip it, you'll go into first-person view, where the microphone will pick up sounds in whichever direction it's facing. By pointing the microphone into the forest, you can sometimes hear the footsteps of enemy soldiers lurking beyond the trees. In jungle combat, success depends on how well you can sense the enemy's presence. Use it wisely. Press the first-person view button to switch to the first-person view. In first-person view, you can look at your surroundings through your own eyes. The overhead view's range is limited. If you plow ahead using only the overhead view, you put yourself in danger of running into an enemy without even realizing he was there. Make regular stops and check your surroundings with first-person view. Okay, Snake? The first-person view attack is a fundamental part of gunfighting. It allows you to aim in directions impossible to hit with the overhead view, like shooting enemies that are above or below you. It also makes it possible to aim for your enemy's weak points. When you need to take an enemy out in one shot, use a first-person view attack and aim for the head. The sooner you find the enemy, the better you'll be able to deal with the situation. So be sure to make use of sensors like the motion detector and active sonar. When you aim your handgun in first-person view, align the front sight and the rear sight of the gun with the target, then fire. For the assault rifle and certain other weapons, pressing the weapon button will first ready the gun for shooting from the hip. If you're in a close quarters fight or other situation that requires immediate action, fire from that position. Observe where your shots are hitting and correct your aim accordingly.
I understand, but that doesn't sound too accurate.
Of course not. So when you require pinpoint targeting, like when firing from afar or sniping, hold the aim button to aim. Carefully align your front and rear sights to concentrate fire and gain a sharper view on your target. The gun you're using is a test model of a suppressor-equipped pistol currently in development by the Navy that's been modified by the CIA into a tranquilizer gun. The suppressor-equipped pistol it's derived from is itself being developed for use by special forces based on the M39.
The Mark 22.
That's what they're going to call it if they decide to adopt it for official use. It uses a slide lock mechanism that will keep the firing sound down to a minimum.
But I'll have to reload it by hand every time I fire, right?
Right. You won't be able to fire multiple shots at once, so make every shot count. Aim for the enemy's vital spots. There's talk of designing the Mark 22 to accommodate special subsonic rounds, but for this mission, you'll be using specifically designed tranquilizer rounds. In a way, these tranquilizer rounds are like miniature syringes. When one of them strikes a target, the impact causes a needle contained within to shoot out. At the same time, chemicals inside the round are mixed to create a gas, which pushes the plunger and injects the tranquilizer into the target. You can knock out an enemy immediately by shooting them in the head, but if you shoot them in the arm or leg, the tranquilizing agent will take some time to set in. Aim carefully. I see you found yourself an RGD-5. RGD stands for Rochnaya Granata Degtyaryeva in Russian. It basically means hand grenade of the Degtyaryov design. It's the standard issue blast fragmentation grenade of the Soviet Army.
It's lighter than the M26.
And it carries fewer explosives as well. But I'd say it's more or less equal to an M26 in terms of performance. Be careful though, the safety pin ring is on the opposite side. You'll be fine as long as you keep the safety lever pressed down with your finger.
I'll keep that in mind.
Blast fragmentation grenades use a combination of blast and shrapnel to kill their targets. This makes them effective against standing targets, but significantly less effective against targets lying on the ground. Remember that. I see you've got the survival knife equipped. The survival knife is a necessity in the field. Press the weapon button to swing the knife. Press it repeatedly to perform a combo attack. The knife lets you kill an enemy silently, so you should find it useful when the situation calls for stealth. In addition to fighting the enemy, you can also use the knife to capture wild animals. That one knife can provide you with everything you need to survive in the field. Use it well. The weapon you're equipped with now is called the XM-16E1. It's a new type of rifle currently being developed by the U.S. Army.
If it's still in development, then what's it doing here?
My guess is they captured it when it was being battle-tested in Southeast Asia. But the one you've got there is quite a bit different from the ones I've been hearing about. For one thing, it's camo-painted, and it's fitted with a 3-shot burst mechanism. It even looks like you could attach a suppressor. All of these modifications are geared towards jungle combat. This doesn't look like the work of the Soviets. My guess is they were added on site by an American gunsmith during Army field trials. Open the weapon window and press the Enter button to attach or remove the suppressor. Press the Action button to switch between semi-auto, full auto, and 3-shot burst modes. Make use of each of these functions as the situation warrants. Stalking is a movement technique that eliminates even the sound of your footsteps. Stalking involves putting your weight on your rear foot, then stepping forward slowly with your front foot. Before putting down the front foot, use the tip of your foot to check for dangerous objects or branches that might create a noise when stepped upon. Once you've determined the spot is safe to step on, slowly lower your foot to the ground, placing it down from the outside edge first, and then slowly lowering your weight onto the foot. Throughout the entire process, you have to strain your calves to retain balance. But all you need to do is press the directional button in the direction you wish to move. When stalking, you can move without creating sound with your footsteps. And since your posture is low while stalking, you are that much less likely to be spotted by the enemy. Since you move cautiously while stalking, you will be able to detect a trap on the ground before it is set off. However, the slow, concentrated movement while stalking consumes high amounts of stamina. Switch between walking and running with the left stick and stalking with the directional buttons depending on the situation.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
I see you have a calorie mate.
Calorie mate.
The thing you're holding now?
Oh, the little block that looks like a cookie?
Try it, it's pretty good.
Okay. But what is this thing? Never seen anything like it.
Calorie Mate is an energy supplement that contains all the proteins, lipids, vitamins, carbohydrates, and minerals needed for a balanced diet. It's a well-balanced food. Because of that, it's just perfect for giving your body the nutrition it needs in combat.
It sounds like a space-age food.
Real astronaut food is not very good, but that should taste fine.
Yeah, and it'll help balance out all this jungle food I'm eating.
It's easy and quick to eat, so it's perfect when you're running late for an important mission in the morning.
I've never been late for a mission.
Really? Aren't you always keeping people waiting?
Huh?
It's easy to keep track of your calorie intake and receive the nutrition your body needs, so it's good for losing weight, too. All of the geisha girls in Japan use it for watching their calories.
Is that why they're all so slim?
Right. And any diet where you eat nothing at all is bad for the body.
I see. You seem to know a lot about Japan, don't you?
Yes, I love Japan. I see you found some Siberian inkcap mushrooms. The Siberian inkcap is a mushroom from the inkcap family. Its life cycle is transitory. As soon as the spores mature, the cap starts to turn black, liquefy, and melt away.
And that's why they call it an ink cap?
That's right. It doesn't really turn to liquid, but you get the idea. In its immature state, before it melts away, it's valued as a source of food. Just be sure not to eat them while you're drinking alcohol.
Why's that?
Ink caps contain coprin, which inhibits the function of aldehyde dehydrogenase. This prevents the body from breaking down alcohol, causing a buildup of acetaldehyde.
Meaning?
Meaning it will give you the hangover from hell.
Oh. Wait a minute.
What?
You think I'd drink alcohol in the middle of a mission?
Wouldn't you?
Hell no.
Well, I'm knocking a shot back now.
What?
Just teasing you.
No.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of humor?
I need a drink.
Snake, Sokolov is imprisoned in the northeast area of the factory.
Got it. To the northeast.
Yes, and don't engage the enemy. The object of this mission is to bring Sokolov back safely and nothing more. Contact Sokolov without being spotted by the enemy and bring him out discreetly. If you must dispose of an enemy, do it with the tranquilizer gun. Snake, as I said before, this mission... Snake, I recommend against leaving the bodies of your victims lying around. If the enemy spots a fallen comrade, they'll realize that they've been infiltrated and strengthen their guard. When you kill an enemy, hide the body in the grass or at some other location where it won't be spotted. Stand near a fallen enemy and press the weapon button with no weapon equipped to grab the body. Hold the weapon button and move to drag the body. Release the weapon button to put the body down. Snake, remember that this operation is a solo sneaking mission. We'll be providing you with support over the radio, but out in the field, you're on your own. There's no backup. And there's no way you'll survive a battle with a large enemy contingent. Avoid engagement whenever possible. Your highest priority in this mission is staying out of sight.
That area is home to the Sunda whistling thrush. The Sunda whistling thrush is a bird native to Java and Sumatra. It's distinguished by its large blue body and long beak. It really stands out in the forest. If you're aiming to catch one alive, use the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So,
How does it taste?
yeah,
I don't know.
you don't know.
The guide doesn't say. I guess there's no reason you couldn't eat them.
Oh, I see.
But it's nice and plump, so I'm sure it'd make a hearty meal.
That's a good point.
Ugh.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But We've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the Gru. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process. Or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America's truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
No one spotted me.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major!
Leave it! Shoot the other one!
Whoa!
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Huh? Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov, too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
I see you caught yourself a rat. The rats in that area are the descendants of wild Norway rats that were domesticated by humans as pets and lab animals. They're not poisonous, and I don't think they'll attack you, but they're quick little creatures, so you might have a hard time catching one.
Uh-huh. So how do they taste?
Snake,
What?
they're rats.
I know what they are. Do they taste okay?
The guide says they're not that bad.
Good enough for me.
Ugh. By the way, Snake,
What?
what was that little lecture back there?
Lecture?
You were instructing the GRU commander, weren't you? Something about the first round or his hand?
Yeah.
What was that supposed to mean?
Well, whenever he put a new clip in his gun, he'd always load the first round by hand, whether there was a round left in the chamber or not. It's a technique they teach in the Middle East. By making sure there's always a round in the chamber, you eliminate the risk of pulling the trigger with nothing to fire. He must have heard about it from someone or read it somewhere. In any case, he probably wanted to try it out for himself. And he was obviously motivated by vanity to show off his new technique. That's when you make mistakes. The battlefield is an unforgiving place. The only techniques you can rely on are the ones you've mastered through experience and practice.
Uh-huh. And what were you saying about him being more suited to revolvers?
When he fired, he was bending his elbow sharply to avoid the recoil. It looked like he wasn't aware he was doing it, but that habit can be either a fatal flaw or a gift.
What do you mean?
Automatic weapons use recoil to operate, so if you don't let the recoil hit you, it interferes with the operating cycle of the gun. Basically, he shouldn't be trying to avoid the impact like that. But with a revolver, there's no need to let the recoil hit you. Just the opposite. Avoiding the recoil lets you reduce the strain on your hand and arm. That kid might just be handy with a high-caliber revolver.
Handy? Are you listening to yourself?
What do you mean?
He's the enemy. Why are you giving him advice? Snake.
I don't know. For some reason, I couldn't help but point it out to him.
Snake, are you all right?
Yeah.
That area is home to the... To take a rest, all you have to do is save and exit the game. The next time you load your save data and continue the game, your stamina and life will have recovered. How much they recover depends on how long of a rest you take.
So the longer I rest, the more I'll recover.
That's right. If you're so exhausted that you don't even have the strength to find food, save the game and take a rest and you'll be back on your feet.
I hope that never happens.
So do I. But you never know. Just don't forget, okay?
I won't.
Snake, there are rats living in that area. The rats in that area are the descendants of wild Norway rats that... To eat food... That area is home to the...
Snake, stay alert. The KGB and GRU both have their sights set on Sokolov. GRU is a military espionage outfit, the intelligence wing of the Soviet Defense Ministry's General Staff Office. It competes with the KGB, which is under the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and the two are always watching each other.
Never let the left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Exactly. Now, added to that rivalry, there's a vicious power struggle going on between the Khrushchev faction and the anti-Khrushchev faction.
So Khrushchev is using the KGB, and Volgin and the anti-Khrushchev forces are using the GRU?
That's the idea. The two factions are fighting over Sokolov. We're in an extremely dangerous situation here.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Get Sokolov out of there safely. He must not be turned over to the KGB or to the GRU. Sokolov took off in the direction of the rope bridge. Get after him. Hurry!
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best GRU has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished!
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
That's what they were making you build?
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo. Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go. boss.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets!
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
The new blood has been rejected.
Are we done here?
Now, on to Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah, just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds. job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Shagohod.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!